Hi, this is Hemadri, working as assistant professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering in RMK CET. Today we are going to see the introduction on metrology and measurements. Today we will see all these contents: introduction to metrology, need of measurements, what are all the various methods of measurement, and elements of metrology. First we will see the definition of metrology. What is the definition of metrology? The word metrology is derived from the two Greek words. Here metro means measurement, logy means science. So metrology is the science of measurement. What is the actual definition of metrology? It is a process of making precise measurements of various positions and orientation of different optical and mechanical components. How we will define the measurement? Here measurement is a process of numerical evaluation of a dimension, or we can compare with standard measuring instruments. Why we should measure the things? Nowadays metrology, it will play a vital role in all industries. The major aim of metrology is we can do the measurements of various components or instruments with by using different instruments. First thing we will see now, why we should measure the things. We have to check the quantity and check tolerances, and by using statistical process control we can measure and maintaining the quality during the manufacturing process. What is the major need of measurement? First thing is interchangeability. What is mean by interchangeable means it is the ability to select a components for assembly at random and fit them together within proper tolerances. What is meant by tolerance? Tolerance means it is a limit of maintaining the products. That is, in any industry they should not manufacture exact same dimension for all the components. They will maintain a some tolerance limit. So it is called plus or minus for the true value. Suppose I want to going to manufacture a 100 dimension of some part, I will make a tolerance of plus or minus 0.1 So 99.9 plus or 100 plus 101, 100.1. Within this limit we can accept the components. Suppose anyone it is out of the range, we can do the remanufacturing or we can throw it as a waste. Next thing is customer satisfaction. Here customer satisfaction, it will play a vital role in all industries. Once the customer he will satisfy, he will come again to your industry, he will purchase the components. So we have to attract the customers. Next, validate the design. After manufacturing the components, we are doing the inspection. We can do the measurement whether the part has been manufactured as per the design limit or not. We want to do the validate the design. Next, physical parameter into meaningful number. Here whatever any physical parameter we can convert into some meaningful numbers. Here next thing is true dimension of a part. Any measurement we are going to do, we are comparing with some true values. Next thing is evaluate the performance. This is, it will play a vital role in all industries. Example, we can take the central power station. In central power station we are having a different missions. Each mission it will be working properly or not, it will vary on the parameters. Example, temperature, pressure, vibrational amplitude, etc. All these parameters regularly they have to do the measurement, then only they can ensure that all the machines are working in proper performance. Otherwise any one parameter it will vary, because of that entire power plant station they will shut down. They have to do the uh, again rechecking. They can find the where it has gone wrong, they can do the adjustment, then they will run. So it will play a very very vital role, the metrology and measurements. We want to ensure that all the machines in a industry it has to be working properly, and then only you can get the proper performance. Next thing is to ensure the parts conforming to the standard measurements. Next, find shortcomings in manufacturing. Here we will find the why in during the manufacturing sometimes more defectives are coming. We are going to do again remanufacturing. We will try to reduce the defectives. For that we can use the good quality raw material. We are using the good quality raw material, good machines, good instruments, then only you can get the output is good. So final finished components you can get it in good quality. Next, to take decision on defective parts. Here we can try to reduce the defectives by applying some statistical tools and techniques. Again you can do the remanufacturing, or sometimes we can throw it as a waste. So these are all the needs of measurement. So in any industry, all industries they are maintaining different types of machines. So regularly they will do the measurements in the machines, they will take the measurements in the machines. So they have to ensure that all the machines are working as per the standard limits. Suppose anything it is varying, immediately they can rectify that, then only their industry it will run smoothly. Next thing is methods of measurement. Here we are having the different methods of measurement: direct method, indirect method, comparative. We can see one by one. First, direct method. In direct method we can take the measurements directly by using different instruments, example vernier caliper or scale or anything. Whatever you are going to measure, by using some instruments directly we can see the readings. Here it is a digital vernier caliper, we can see the length of this screw directly 29.70 mm. Next, indirect method. Here we can measure the quantities by knowing the some other quantities. Some, suppose see I want to know the find the weight of this bar. First I will find the length, breadth, height, then I will calculate the weight. So it is called indirect method. First I will calculate the length, breadth, height, then I will get the weight. So indirectly we can do the our measurements by knowing quantities. Next, comparative method. Here we can compare our values with known values. Suppose see comparator under the dial gauge. Here I am taking slip gauge as a standard one. I can set the dial gauge into 0 reading. I can fix with under the slip gauge. Now I will remove the slip gauge. I will take some part. I will keep it under dial gauge. Now I will see the reading. So it will compare with standard one. What is the deviation? So this is called comparative method. Next thing is contact method. In contact method the measuring surface or object is directly contact with the measuring instrument. So this is called contact method. The measuring medium is directly contact with the instrument. Next, coincidence method. Herein we can take the measurements, it will coincidence with certain lines and some signals. Here see in screw gauge, I want to do some measurement. I have to find a some diameter of a some hole. Here I will keep it under a screw gauge. Here this is the main scale reading. This is the coincidence reading. So I will find out the total reading is main scale reading plus coincidence reading into least count. So least count of screw gauge is 0.01 mm. So total reading is main scale reading 5.5, coincidence reading is 16 divisions. So total reading is 5.66. Next thing is complementary method. Here I want to do find the measurement of any unknown quantity. I will combine with the known value of same quantity. Suppose see in mercury, here without ball I will have some volume 50 liters of water, and then by using this ball I will keep it here. The volume height is 150 liter. So the I will find the difference. I will find the final volume is 100 liter. So in complementary method we can compare, take the quantity to be measured is combined with known value of same quantity. So this is called complementary method. Next, deflection method. In deflection method we can do the measurement directly by a indicator. In pressure measurement, example analog weighing or speedometer, it will shows the directly by using this dial indicator, it will shows the reading here. This is called deflection method. The indicator it will deflect. Suppose in we are going in automobile, it will shows the speed here. Based on your speed it will shows the reading here directly. This is called deflection method. Next thing is transposition method. Here I am going to find a value of quantity I want to measure is first balanced by known value of same quantity. Then I will put the quantity some unknown value, then it will be positioned in the equilibrium. Final thing is root of AB. This is called physical balance. So we can call this as a transposition method. Next, generalized measuring system. What is meant by generalized measuring system? Here some of the common elements under the generalized measuring system we can see. This is called primary sensing element. We can see one by one in detail in next slide. Generalized measuring system. First thing is physical system. Suppose I want to do a measurement of something, I can take that, it will give the signal to the variable conversion element. Here in variable conversion, the input it will be convert into suitable form. Example in transducer, it will convert into suitable form. It will go to the variable manipulation element. Again it will process here. It will come to data transmission element. So the input it will be converted into suitable form. Again it will be converted into some data. Finally the data it will be processing here, then it will shows the output here, final output. By recorder or indicator or controller. We will get the final output here, that is called data presentation element. Again from this, here we can take the feedback, it will give to the physical system. So in generalized measurement system, we are having the different parameters. Whatever instrument we are going to take some readings or we will do some measurement, all the variables, it will be play a vital role in measurement. I hope you understand how generalized measurement system. Next, we will see the elements of measuring system. What are all the various elements of measuring system? First thing is, we can see one by one: standard, workpiece, instrument, person, environment. Standard is a physical representation of unit of measurement. Without standard, we should not do any measurement. So it will play a vital role in a elements. So these are all the various parameters or various factors it will reflect in during the measurement. Example, coefficient of thermal expansion, and then calibration interval. Calibration means we want to do the calibration of any instrument. We can take some standard one. By using standard, we can do the measurement, we can compare with the standard, then we can find the error in the instrument, that is called calibration. Again, stability with time. Normally all the, we can repeat the measurement also, we can get the stable reading, then only we can accept. And then it will vary on elastic properties, it will vary on the properties of the instrument or properties of the workpiece. Next, workpiece. Here workpiece is, it is the object we are going to be measured, or we can call it as a measured part. In workpiece, it will variations in the geometry, and then cleanness, surface finish, scratching, surface defects, all these factors, it will play a vital role in measuring system repeatability. We have a clean surface, smooth surface finish without any scratches, you can get the good accurate results. So whenever you are going to do measurement, you can clean the workpiece, then only you can do the measurement. And then hidden geometry, elastic properties, adequate datum, supporting of workpiece. Sometimes the workpiece during the measurement, workpiece it should not be moved, it will be in the movement of workpiece, it should be arrested, then only the readings will come accurate. So this is called workpiece. Example, we can see some of the compressible materials like plastics or nylons, it will have different types of problems. The time any gauge pressure, it will distort the material. So by, we have to fix the gauge pressure as suggested by the some industry. So everyone will get the uniform results, otherwise it is very difficult. So workpiece, it will play a vital role in measurement. Next thing is instrument. What is meant by instrument? Here instrument, by using instrument we can do the measurements. So it is a device by using which we can take the measurements. In instruments, these are all the factors. Amplification for accuracy objective. So you want to get the good accurate results, so we have to use the good instruments without any error. Sometimes scale error will be there, effect of friction, and then zero drift error. because of due to the friction the instrument it will show wrong value. Zero drift error means here the zero reading itself having error. So starting from zero we are calculating the measurement values. Here zero itself it is not coinciding exactly, so it is having some error. So calibration errors, mechanical parts, and then contact geometry, these are all the various factors it will play a vital role under the measuring the instrument. Next, person. Here by using some person we can perform the measurement. So the person we have to give proper training how to do the measurement by using different types of instruments. The it will vary on the skill level of operators. So the person is having a capacity to select the good measuring instrument, and then he is having, whenever he will do the measurement always he has to get some accurate results. Finally he has to plan the measuring techniques based on the cost and consistency. Whenever he will perform measurements he has to get good consistent results. So by using nowadays modern gauges are there. By using modern gauges directly we can get the readings, but as a person he has to know how to use the modern gauges, then only he will get the good results, good accurate results. Next thing is environment. So before doing measurements it will, the values it will be vary on surrounding environment. These are all the various factors it will play a vital role in the environment. First thing is temperature. Here the temperature it will play a vital role. So we can perform a experiment in a closed surrounding under air conditioned room. Closed room you can do the measurement, you will get the some value. Same measurement you can do it in some normal room temperature, you will get the different value. So the temperature it will play a vital role, and then humidity, clean surrounding, and then vibration, thermal expansion effects. So all these factors it will influence the measurement. So before doing measurements you want to consider all these factors. You have to maintain a standard environment, then only your results will come accurately. So this is the thing we have discussed.